How's it going, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez, aka Big D here. It's time to review The Player. Will you be our player? Season 1, Episode 2, titled Ante Up. This is a spoiler review. If you have not seen the episode, go to nbc.com/theplayer. Watch the full episode there. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And let's get right to it, man. Don't forget also the other NBC shows I review, The Blacklist and Heroes Reborn. Do not forget those special important ingredients to the review session that you are about to have of your very majestic buffet, I shall say. It's a very majestic road trip on acid you can take with me. So just make sure, have a good time. Bring your kids along. Let's get right to it. It should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, give you my pros and cons and final score. Thanks again for joining, and let's get right to it, shall we? Links down below to a lot of good content. I say good content because it came from me, but if you're gonna be honest, just tell me the truth. Thanks, Phone. All right, here we go. So there's a vehicle robbery going on in the beginning. You know, people stealing stuff. It's Vegas and it's a vehicle robbery, and they call themselves the Carnage Crew. Seriously, the Carnage Crew. Yeah. Is Keanu Reeves a part of this? Is Bodhi there? Is Bodhi there? Patrick Swayze? The only law that matters is gravity. Let's fly off. Bodhi, do you know how many laws you've broken? The only law that matters is gravity. The name's Bodhi. What's your name? Johnny Utah? Utah? I just recited Point Break. Remember Point Break? He's like, ah! Yeah, you remember that. Anyway, going to the player again on NBC. So that goes down, and it strikes again, man. They make a lot more money, and man, these guys are pros. I mean, they have explosives and everything. So a new bet is going down. Alex Kane. So Alex meets Dominic, which is his old friend, who is the guy who's part of the Carnage Crew, the main leader. His name's Dominic McCall. I mean, sort of talks like this. How you doing, man? I'm doing very good. Nice to see you. So he led him to a trap, and basically he's in water. He's being interrogated, and they're not fighting, but he's getting interrogated. And he's basically saying, like, why did you follow me, blah, blah, blah. And he says, I know what you've done. And, you know, he used to say, oh, Alex used to, like, shut off this guy's head and everything. Then we had a beer afterwards. Like, he used to be hardcore, baby. He used to be stone cold. Now it's just Steve Austin. You know? So they end up talking. Now he's going to kill him and everything. And the power turns off, and the fight happens. And basically, he escapes. You know, long story short. Get to work, I should say. Mr. Johnson visits his secretary, and he goes after the diamonds. Dominic goes after the diamonds in his group. They fight in the strip, and I love how what's it called? Alex Kane fights. He's like, literally, when he runs, he's not like, don't do a Jack Bauer, man. Jack Bauer's like, no, but he's like, damn, G, man. Look at that. That's G. No, Jack Bauer? Alex Kane. Jack Bauer? Alex Kane. Jack Bauer? Alex Kane. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, Jack Bauer does it better. Just telling you the truth. Either way, that goes down. So there's a fight on the strip, and Dominic ends up escaping again. You lose! You get nothing, sir. Have a good day. Doing Gene Wilder up in here. Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, not Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. How's wrong with you? I like the originals better. Gene Wilder is a master of the comedic era for the 40s. But no, not 40s, like 60s, 70s. I'm sorry. He's not that old. He's pretty old, but not in the 30s. The other way. May have been. Child actor, I don't know. So anyway, there's a new deal when they go after Dominic, and there's this airplane fight. I feel like this is Point Break for some reason. Anyway, it's so epic and stupid at the same time. Alex Kane jumps out of an airplane without a parachute and goes after Dominic. And Dominic ends up dying. He's like, "Don't blame yourself, brother," and he just like he falls and dies to his death. And there's a funeral for Jenny. Okay. There's a chip in a picture that said "My Hero" with Jenny and him, and then the wife is possibly alive. Question mark. And also the guy from Gotham who played the cannibal is in this. Yay Gotham! He's in this episode too. He never combs his hair. What a sad sap he is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you the pros and cons now of the player. Will you be our score? Here we go. First off, the action in here. I mean, the action is freaking intense. Need I say more? It's a pretty damn good action. Dominic McCall, man, he was a pretty good villain, actually. I liked him better than last week's villain. He had more personal, relationships with him. The friendship actually felt real. It just didn't feel like they put two actors together. It actually felt like they had a history, the way that they did the dialogue and the way that they acted with each other. The opening was really awesome as well, the whole robbery thing and the whole, I don't know. It was really military style and the mask and the anarchy look. I really did enjoy that. The effects of this episode were very good, for the airplane and everything. I don't think any effects were really bad. I think they all worked pretty well in it. I mean, come on, they jumped out of an airplane. It may have been fake, but that was pretty awesome directing, man. Really awesome directing. Mr. Johnson, Wesley Snipes, always doing the good old tears. Always having fun talking to the police. And then he does that voice. "Oh, how you doing, sir? Oh, well, you'll be the first to hear about it, Let's get down to business, shall we? Oh. Wesley Snipes. Please. The airplane and the stunts. That's what stole the show, man. The tactical ways. I've already showed you. Jack Bauer, Alex Kane. Jack Bauer, Alex Kane. Jack Bauer, Alex Kane. As well as, those were the pros, actually. Those were it. Now the cons. It was slow with the secretary and Wesley Snipes scenes, Mr. Johnson. Those were the slower scenes. As well, what happened to the plane? The pilot got shot. What happened to the plane? That was a pretty big plane. I would like to know what happened to that plane. Did it crash? I think it would make news if a big airplane crashed in the middle of the desert. And it had diamonds and everything on it. So I'm assuming that it would be a big deal. And they just kind of, an airplane just hit Area 51 and it just... Earlier today we were doing a military flight testing and, Area 51 is not real, thank you. And then the government just puts it and it's an X-file. Scully. It's time to tell the people the truth. Fade to black. Either way, always good to have a little X-file up in here. Anyway, also the directing of action sometimes just didn't... It had its moments. I do like the choreography of the action, but sometimes the directing was okay in this episode with the action, but sometimes a little shaky up in there, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I need to hold the camera or else Michael J. Fox is directing. So, get your shit together. Overall, I'm going to give the player Season 1, Episode 2, Ante Up a B+. I thought it was a really good episode as well. Was it better than last week's? I enjoyed last week's a lot. But for sure, I think this one told me whether or not I should keep on watching. And just the stunts and the actions is what keeps me going on. Is his wife alive? We'll find out next week. Thanks so much for watching. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about the player. I'll see you all for the next one. But it's Spock with you always.